It's about to go down.
It's lovely pass, and there he turns cleverly. Can he find a finish? Oh, he can!
Skilled by Joshua, and a return right hand. Good counter right. Bullen is hurt. Second right hand. That clipped him as well. Now he goes in for the kill.
Well, Ricciardo is inching into the lead, and Ricciardo that win the Italian Grand Prix!
Iguodala running the floor.
Still leading the way with Canada in there too with the Netherlands.
And Musa makes it 4 goals in 2 World Cup matches.
The Monaco Grand Prix! Ricciardo triumphant in Monza.
Through Bowden Barrett and an early touch and an excellent.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Hello, viewers out there. You're welcome to today's episode of Sports Orbit, reaching you from Leadership TV. My name is Afacho. Salifu Usman is here with me. Salifu, welcome to Sports Orbit.
Thank you, Alpha. It's always my pleasure to be on the Sport Orbit.
All right. It was a really, really interesting weekend across Europe and, of course, right here in the NPFL. For the NPFL, Rivers United at a point had a 7-gap lead at the top of the table, but Plateau United cut that lead back to 4 points. But Rivers United has opened up another 7-gap lead at the top of the table, while Plateau United are still trailing from behind. Also in the EPL, we saw a dramatic finish to this 2021-2022 season of EPL. Also in Italy, it was an interesting one also, as AC Milan returned back to winning ways by winning the Scudetto once again after 10 years of being out there in the cold. Now we'll begin from the home front, where Rivers United have gone 7 points clear on top of the NPFL after match day 29. As it stands, it's 10 more matches to go in the NPFL, and Rivers United on top of the league with 7 points. Of course, they did while they were able to achieve that feat, as Plateau United, who followed closely in second place, actually lost 2-0 to Abia Warriors in that one. Salifu, looking at Rivers United now, will you say it's looking more like it that Rivers United might just be winners of the NPFL?
Yeah, well, I can't say they must judge you, but if you have to look at it now, who is more closer, you definitely say River United, they are more close to the title, but that's 29 matches played so far. They are left with another 9 matches to play, and within these 9 matches, that will still have, that is almost about 27 points to grab from that 9 matches. And if you have just opened a 7-point gap between you and your rivals, so you can't confidently say you have arrived, because within these 2, all you need to do, all your opponent need to do, by the time you lose too much, you have dropped down, and then your rival is already at you. So it is not yet over, and I believe that the River United and their coaching crew and the fans and everyone that connected to River United are quite aware that yes, the battle for the race for the title is not yet over, and there's still more distance to cover. Even as that, I still give them a kudos that the first, just like in the introductions, they drop it. There was a time they were leading by 7 points. They drop it down, and then River United drop it down to 4, and now they are open up again. No thanks to Plateau United fall at the Abia Warriors. So, but I believe that Coach David Elishu and his team and his coaching crew and his players at the Plateau United still believe that the battle is not yet over for them. They still have a chance to continue to maintain their chance and to chase for the title. Even the third place, Enugu Rangers still have a match. Still can also both their sense as if they can still chase the title, because the difference between them and the top leaders can still be covered up if something, but that will take a miracle to happen.
Quickly, in other results, Enugu Rangers, it was 1-0 over Dakada right there in Enugu for Abia Warriors, like you said, 2-0 winners over Plateau United. Aqua United, defending champions, 1-0 over Niger Tornadoes. Then for Gombe United, Kwa United, it was a 6-goal thriller actually, as that one ended 4-2 out there in Gombe. Kano Pillars returned to winning ways with a 3-1 thumping of Heartland right here at the Moshood Abiola Stadium. I think that's a good one for Kano Pillars. I thought,
for the first time they scored 3 goals.
yeah, I thought Heartland were really going to trouble them, but
after beating league leaders.
yes, exactly. I really expected Heartland to trouble them, but it was not to be. They were the better side on the evening. Well, for Kasna United, 1-0 over Aimba. Also, one thing about Kasna United, playing at home, Kasna United has been fantastic. This is their 5th straight victory playing at home. Then for Aimba, Aimba hasn't been doing well away from home. They've really had problems away from home. Then for Lobby Stars, had to battle to a 0-0 draw with Sunshine Stars of Akure, while for National United, 1-0 over Wicked Tourist of Bauchi. Rivers United, 1-0 over Remo Stars. So it was actually a top of the table encounter, but Rivers United were the better side on the night, while Shooting Stars and MFM played out a 1-1 draw out there in Ibadan.
Yes, let's starting from the bottom where the City Stars and MFF play 1-1 draw, and to me that is the best achievement, the best result so far for Shooting Stars this season, going away to pick a point.
So Shooting Stars were at home.
Sorry, MFF. Sorry, I'm trying to talk about MFF. I think this is the best result for MFF so far this season, playing away to pick a point. You know, even if this season, if you look at their performance this season, there's nothing they will play. Even though when they play at home, they are not sure of getting the point. But for them to went to all the way to Ibadan, and Shooting Stars always win at home. But for them to get to Ibadan and get a point out of Shooting Stars, to me that's a good result. And I hope they'll be able to take it up from there, and they still have a chance to fight for relegations and to survive the relegation. But if they have to improve, starting from this match yesterday, where they're able to pick in a point. And if you're looking at the Lobby Stars, Sunshine Star play 0-0 for Sunshine Star to throw all the way from Akure to Makodi and get it result. Kudos to Sunshine Star, but I believe that Dominic Ayofas and his team will not be happy with that. Dominic Ayofa in particular will not be happy with that kind of result yesterday, because they believe that a team he has a job at hand given to him by the state government to ensure that the team don't survive the relegation, but to maintain their firm positions as one of the top teams in the league. And for him to drop a point at home against his own sister, to me, it's a big slap for him yesterday, and he will not be happy with that result. But nevertheless, Baba Ghana has a job to do. He must ensure that you can't fight to survive relegation and to maintain a status, and we are still allowed to drop a point in a match where we need to win.
For MFM, they would have had hope of really, but one reason why I feel MFM it will be difficult for them to escape relegation, because their matter were not helped by that incident that happened in their team, because they've been banished. So they don't have the luxury of even playing at home anymore. So, and this will really affect them. And not forgetting that 2 of their players were also suspended for 12 matches. Then their team manager has also been suspended indefinitely. So I think a lot is not going well for them. But I'm really surprised that they actually were able to get a 1-1 draw
against a Shooting Star.
Yeah.
And in football nowadays does not mean whether you are playing at home. All you need to do is go outside and play a normal game and prepare well and get it result. But based on the scenario you enumerated, having all these kinds of crises in your team and still went away to get a result in the battle, it shows that they still have something in their arsenal that they can still, despite all the ban and suspension to their players and the coach and everything, if they can still have, they show that they still have a personnel to play the game and to play well and get the result. But it is still very, very difficult. But I don't want to say it is yet over for them until it is finally in football. You don't see it is over until it is finally over.
All right, that's it for the NPFL. Now going on to some tennis, where during the weekend the CBN Senior National Open Tennis Championship took place right here in Abuja. Well, it was Nomso Madwike who came from a set down to win the 2022 CBN National Open Tennis Championship. Top seed Henry Atai retired injured at 0-2 down in the third set, while Madueke, who was seeded for the 44th edition of the competition, lost the first set to Ate 6-3, but bounced back to win the second before he Ate retired in the final set of the final proceedings due to injury. In the women's singles, it was Edward who defeated second seed Anu Ayegbesi 6-3, 6-4 to win the title. So, I mean, kudos to the CBN who have continued in this tradition of keeping this senior tennis open ship year in, year out alive. I think this is one of the competitions when it comes to tennis that has been going on, and somehow it has come to be, one of the high points of when it comes to the tennis calendar in Nigeria.
It's a Nigeria Grand Slam.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's our own Grand Slam, and congratulations to Nos Madukwe. The final was a very tough. It was a very tough one at the weekend. All hope and all expectations, every expectation was on Harry Asei to win the title, having been the top seed of the tournament. And so even in the semi-final, he has a very tough one in the semi-final. And looking at the match from the first set, he win the first set very, very easily, 3-6. But in the second set, he was also leading in the second set. But Madueke recover in the second set to drag the second set to the last end and ensure that he win that one by just 1 point, 7-6. Then in the second, in the third set, when the match was dragging too long to the evening time, and unfortunately, Harry Ase wanted to prove that he proved his dominance, but unfortunately, he sustained an injury in the process, and he has no option than to just quit. And that was how Madueke eventually became the new champion of the tennis 44 edition of that. And just like you say, let me also join that the CBN for a very long time has been consistent in this kind of a competition. It's a kudos one to the CBN bank for giving hope for millions of Nigerian youth as an opportunity. And apart from the heritage, there are others. Apart from the senior women open and the women open, there are other categories which double win and those. So there were several winners in other categories yesterday, and most of those winners go home with a lot of prize money to show that yes, and to show that for their participation. And it's an opportunity to develop the game of tennis. And just like I said, it's the higher point of competition of tennis competition in Nigeria and Nigeria Grand Slam. Every player look forward towards it, and we want the tennis, the CBN to consistent. And apart from CBN, also have the junior category of this competition to develop it. So kudos to the CBN for maintaining these competitions consistently without make up any year at all.
Of course, we call on other corporate organizations like this to, bankroll this kind of such events, not just in tennis, but in various other sports. There are so many sports in Nigeria that this can be an avenue to keep a lot of these players busy, because the truth is, in other sports, there are not too many tournaments that have been hosted, but coming up with this kind of, a platform for tennis players to keep busy, I think is something that's worthy of emulation and celebration.
Just like you talk of corporate body, we always complain that corporate body always shine away from their sport. And at the same time, the attitudes of the administrators in the sport doesn't even help matter. For instance, the CBN, the Jenny Bank have a corporate sponsorship of the Nigerian Basketball Women League for over 4 years.
Exactly.
But because of the crisis in the NBA, they have to pull up. So tell me, do you blame Jenny Bank now, or who do you blame? You should blame the adults. So even when you are calling for support, the adults need to put their hands in others and to ensure that they allow this. Because no any corporate body would like to put his money when there's no peace.
No, of course, I agree.
But even as that, there are other federations who are very peaceful, who are transparent, who are doing things transparently. So just like that, I also doing that. Other corporate bodies should also identify with those sports. And if even individual players, for instance, like this, SAE and Nosomando, who plays in the final of this, nothing stop. CBA can also go further, sponsor them for a tour.
Yeah.
You can't, if you must develop a player, you can't limit them to play in Nigeria and expect them to develop. But play in other tour and competitions, they require money. CBN can also go for other corporate body, so I can identify with this as they are part of the empire and sponsor them to go for a tour even South Africa tour, and other Asian tour, to develop their game of tennis. That is the only way we can produce a player who will compete in the Grand Slam.
All right, we'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, Sport Orbit continues. Don't go nowhere.
For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.
Sports Orbit. We make the world go round.
Welcome back from that break. Now on to some transfer news where Super Eagles and Rangers defender talking about Calvin Bassey as a result of his fantastic performance for Rangers this season in the Scottish Premier League and of course in the Europa League. He's been linked to some top clubs out there in Europe with Bayern Munich and Chelsea also looking at the Nigerian defender. Recall that when Bassey was named in that Super Eagles squad to face Ghana, a lot of people were wondering, who is Bassey? I mean, how come you drop who was played a Sanusi for Bassey?
Yes, for Bassey, yes.
But when he played, you saw his quality. And for him to even be named in the Europa team of the season, it goes to tell you that this young man is a player to watch out for in coming years.
You know, when I watch him, if you watch the final against the Frankfurt, and his effectiveness, the way he played, his tackle and his ball recovery and his pass, accurate pass. He has accurate pass of 80 ball pass accurate. 10 recovery and one tackle. So it shows that he's a good player. And whenever I say this guy, I bet you this guy will not play. He will not be in Rangers next season.
I agree.
Because from the way it's going, apart from even Bayern and the sense that has been mentioned, I see more. I saw many other clubs will come up very soon. This guy, no matter how Rangers think try, they can't keep him for next season at the Rangers. Because going by his work rate in the Europa Cup, the Europa Cup has exposed him seriously to several top Euro clubs, and it's good that he's in Nigeria. That is good. Just like you say, and you know sometimes even though we see that yes, a World Cup playoff was a failure, we didn't get the result we want, but that means this is a revelation from that World Cup. And if there's nothing, even though Egbabodi has achieved anything, I think that's one of their big achievements of Costello Silva, because it was done that brought him into that team. And I believe if this guy was even part of the team that went to the AFCON, maybe we would have get the different teams. True. So I commend Egbabo for identifying him out from identifying, because all this while they never see him. That's all. So we commend Egbabo to identify him out, and this guy has become a very a star to watch. Looking at that performance in the Europa Cup final really exposed him, because if every coach, if the analysis, everybody, if you work his work, look at it, definitely tough team will never know how to have him. There's no how Ranger can't keep him for next season.
I agree. A very hardworking and quality left back. I must confess, and any team he goes to will sure be a quality addition to, of course, to that team. Away from that now to the WAFU competition that just ended in Niamey, Nigeria, where Minister of Sport Sunday Dari has charged the Flying Eagles to sustain the discipline and team spirit as they look forward to the 2023 Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt. The minister gave the charge on Monday, actually today, at the reception organized for the team at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium right here in Abuja. The team actually won 3-1 against host Niger in that final to emerge champions of the WAFU Under B tournament. I mean, like we say, these kind of competitions are always developmental coming out of the Waffles being victorious, now we're already charging them, go to Egypt and win the cup. Instead of saying, okay, go to Egypt, ensure that you get a qualification for the World Youth Championships.
If you win the World Cup, you already get the World Cup and also get
No,
the
I
title,
no,
get
I
the
agree,
cup.
but I mean, but
It's like also you get the
if you end up in the top four, if you end up in the last four, you have your World Cup place is guaranteed.
It's guaranteed. Yeah, it's a good one. But all like, to me, just like you say, the ultimate is just to get the ticket first.
Yeah.
Which is the ultimate. So if you get the cup, it's a bonus.
Mm.
So Sladan Bosu, just like we have announced, we commended him and his team for winning the Waco Cup, and the more appropriate, the most important is not even the cup to me, is the ticket to play in the AFCON. So they got that ticket, and now they have won the cup in addition to it. So what we do is that we also urging them that when they get for next year, now he has an opportunity, unlike the Waco that was hurry. Was the Bio Brigade approach that they just rush and went there. But now he has a long time to plan. As he has, by May, at least has about 7 months or 6 months to prepare for the AFCON.
Yeah.
So he has everything. He can look at the player he's now, and then also bring new player. He feel that anywhere that is like, he has opportunity to bring in and ensure that the team, all we want to bring him to produce a very good team that will get to the Egypt and Nigeria proud, and at the same time get to the World Cup, which is the ultimate, and excel.
All right, down to some European football. First of all, we start in Italy, where it was a glorious day for the other side of Milan as they returned back to winning ways. Actually, AC Milan, after not winning the Scudetto for 10 good years, returned to winning ways as they defeated Sassuolo 3-0 in the final game of the season. AC Milan, who were on top of the table, who were on top with 2 points, needed at least to win their last game playing away, while crosstown rivals Inter Milan, who were 2 points behind, also hoping to topple them while they played at home. But Inter Milan also won 2-0 in that one, but AC Milan won 3-0. And 2 goals came from Olivier Giroud, who scored 2 of the goals. And to give AC Milan a quick lead. And of course, going back to Italy, Giroud has another league title to his name, including a team that has the likes of Zlatan Ibrahimovic in that squad also.
Over 40, almost.
Yeah, actually, I mean, we all know AC Milan have been, when it comes to European football, these are heavyweight giants of the game, but have not been having it good for quite a long time. But finally, they got it right after about 10 years.
For many years. And yes, I congratulate AC Milan. I also congratulate Olivier Giroud.
Yeah.
Olivier Giroud, so many people see him not as a good player, but gradually he's beginning to make his mark in the game of football.
Giroud, whether I like it or not, he's a proven goal scorer. You can't take that away
from him. He has a World Cup medal, he has a Premier League medal, now he has an Italian medal. So he has begun to gather the medal, he has something to show. Even some players that will claim that they are better players may not even have most of those medals that Giroud is having. So congratulations to AC Milan. And just like it's like it's the 8th game is gradually turning back to Milan. Last season it was Inter Milan champion, now AC Milan champion. So Juventus has to be very careful now and watch out. Other side has to be very careful.
Because they even actually finished 4th, Juventus, while Napoli, where we have our own Victor Osimhen, at least finished third. So at least they are short of a Champions League spot in that one.
And for Napoli, they need to up their game. Because even if look at the season, was even the hoping that Napoli is going to even win the title. But unfortunately, the Milans have maintained the dominance and the shot. That's why the Italian football is turning back to Milan where it was.
Yeah, I agree with you. They're now over to England, where we saw plenty of drama yesterday in the EPL, where Man City had to. A lot of people thought it was going to be just an easy ride for Man City, but they won this league by 2-0. It wasn't easy one, and you could actually see the emotion from Pep Guardiola. He actually shed tears of joy at the end of the because this match started, and before you knew it, they were 2-0 down, and it seemed like what was going on. And I mean, it took them in another 15 minutes. As of the 70th, 75th minute, they were still two goals down, and until in just within 10 minutes, they wrapped it up. While on the other side, Liverpool had been at 1-1 draw for a long time. Liverpool too were stunned early in the match by Wolves, who scored in the first 5 minutes of the game, and the scoreline was like that for a long time until Liverpool came back and ended that one 3-1. But it was really, really a hard-fought victory for Man City.
Yes.
At a point, it was looking like it wasn't going to be.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct there. It was a hard-fought victory for the very tasty one for Liverpool, for Man City fans, and also for Liverpool fans, because they were hoping that what is going to happen? Is it like a miracle is going to happen, or is it that the sun is going to smile on us? But unfortunately for them, Pep Guardiola, be who he is, always have a solution to every problem. And at the last 20 minutes, he was able to turn the game and then to their own side, and then congratulations to Liverpool, to Man City. And if you look at the APL yesterday, apart from the league title that was decided yesterday on the final day, there are many things were decided on the final day yesterday.
Plenty of
the
drama
top four decided. The Champions League qualification was decided yesterday. Even the Europa League qualification was also decided yesterday. The top goal scorer was decided in the yesterday. The best assist was the same yesterday. Even the best goalkeeper, everything was decided yesterday. It was a tough clash of the season for the EPL yesterday for all the participants yesterday.
Yeah, like we said, let's take a look at other results as it transpired yesterday. Of course, for the other sports, we call that not London rivals, Tottenham and Arsenal, were both desperate for a win in that one. I'm sure a lot of Arsenal fans were expecting Norwich to perform some sort of miracle, having been relegated, but Tottenham were not having any of that. I classed them 5-0 in that one. Arsenal also on their part, 5-1. I'm sure the boys from Everton were not really concerned, because after that victory, surviving relegation, that night, there were reports that they partied all night after they ensured their stay.
So their pedal.
Yeah, so that match yesterday wasn't really.
And for Arsenal, the goal they needed to score against Newcastle, the night and go and score it that way. It doesn't matter to count.
Well, it was a sad one when you put in all your efforts, do all you did. So someone said, I mean, this was the performance they should have put on against Newcastle. And Tottenham, boy, was not to be. And
even on that team against Tottenham, if they had put that sort of performance again in Newcastle and get the result against Newcastle, they would have still had what they want. But unfortunately, Arteta and his team.
Yeah, and British journalist, a famous one who is also a diehard Arsenal fan, that's Piers Morgan, actually said that Arsenal were too even quick to giving Arteta another contract.
Yes.
Because after it seemed like Arsenal were going to qualify, they quickly gave him a contract. After giving him the contract, and now they couldn't make the Europa. He said they should have waited for the season to end before even giving him a contract.
I agree. I agree with you 100%. It was very wrong for Arsenal managers to give Arteta a contract to sign with him when the league was on. You know, after getting the result against Man, against Man, everybody was hoping that the remaining match will just walk over. And unfortunately, just like what you analyzed, when Everton won their survived the relegation, they went to party. And after Arteta decided the contract, he went to party and started enjoying it. Now have a guaranteed 3-year job to play with.
Well, also for Leeds United, it was another victorious one. Leeds at Burnley were the only teams left to fill up the relegation spaces, but it was not to be, as Burnley lost that one, and Leeds won 2-1 in that one, and Leeds will be staying in Premier League for another third season straight, while for Burnley, after 6 years in the Premier League, will drop down to the Sky Bet Championship. Well, that's how it is for now. Well,
and unfortunately, on the day everybody is winning, Man United once again lose yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
but thank God that
West Ham too.
Also lose, if not,
West Ham should be blaming themselves, because for a lot of United fans, it was like, well, you have to make do with the Conference League, but West Ham too, I think, did United a favor by
losing. I mean, the Britain did the United a favor by beating West Ham.
Who?
Britain.
No, I mean, West Ham should have stepped up their game, knowing that we needed a win. And West Ham lost that one 3, because initially West Ham were leading 1-0 while United were trailing 1-0 also. So it was like it was done and dusted. United to the Conference League. And all of a sudden, Brighton equalized. Before I knew it, it was 2-1. Before I knew it again, it was 3-1. And West Ham actually blew that chance, thereby doing United a favor. So
United has everything to thank to Britain and host.
Yeah, and for West Ham not putting on their best performance. So for West Ham, they will be
Maybe
the Conference League.
David Moyes is you have a sympathy to Man U. Okay, this is my club, so let allow them the senior
It's not
brother.
his club.
Allow the senior brother.
He was coached there for roughly 8 months. So nobody remembers he was once a United coach. So,
but when you went to the United hierarchies and the record, you definitely see the Moyes name there.
yeah, his name is there, but it's not recognized. There was absolutely nothing he did for his name to be remembered in United folklore. Well, this is where we call it a day on today's episode of Sports Orbit. Salifu, nice being in the studio with me on this Monday episode of Sports Orbit.
Thank you. And then it's good that the football season is finally over across the Europe, but for Nigeria,
it's still on.
And some African countries, the league is still on. So as we go, don't mind that the league is on of the season.
Of course, definitely many sporting events.
The sport orbit is will remain hot as it is, and there are many things to report about.
And of course, transfer window will open soon. So there's plenty of news. Commonwealth Games is at hand.
And as we go up the season, preparation for the World Cup is already on.
Yeah. All right. Until we come tomorrow, your way tomorrow again with another exciting episode. My name is Alpha Cho. Stay safe out there, and it's bye-bye from here.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have the last word.